So Tony and myself are nipping out today. We are going to Dobbies Garden Centre in Llansamlet, which is in Swansea. It's about 10 miles away from where we live. So I don't really know what we're looking for. I might be after a little bit of a water feature. We'll see when we get there. But before we go, I just want to tell you a little bit about the history of the garden. I've got to be honest, this is probably one of the worst garden centres that I've visited in a long time. Years ago, this garden was nothing but an empty space, half lawn and half brambles. So we dug it all out and reloaned it with seed, and when it grew into a lovely green lawn, I decided that's not what I wanted at all. So I started planting more tropical style plants in 2021. I dug out beds, and yes, for a few years the garden looked pretty sparse, but 5 years later, and just look at this. My dream was always to have a garden that I could walk under and walk through, and now that dream this year has become a reality. Plenty of palm trees for a cooler climate, such as the Trachycarpus virginii with their beautiful leaves, winding pathways and the large tetrapanuks. And for the first time this year, I am able to walk underneath the canopy. So this year I started digging out a few of the pathways that I'd placed down, and I wanted a bit more planting space. So we've added in some arid beds and planted out the yucca rostrata. So without further ado, let's go to Dobbies. So we have arrived now at Dobbies, and I quite fancy another Acer. I like these ones here. For £119 for that one, a Moonrise. It's lovely, but I didn't really want to spend that amount of money on a new Acer. What about these smaller ones here? £29.99 for that one. It's a lovely breeze today as well. So I'm a bit spoilt for choice now. I don't know which one to go for. But Tony is up the other end of the store looking for a water feature. This one here is also lovely, and this is a rustic one. But that sadly is a little bit too big to go in the garden for where I wanted to go. But I wonder if they've got that one in a smaller size. So these ones here are the smaller ones. And looking at it, I like that one up there, the brown one. So I think I'll pick up one of them. And that was a lovely one, £129, but sadly out of stock. Now I have just passed somebody's trolley, and they had 2 cordylines in their trolley for £7 each. And do you think I can find any? No luck whatsoever. That's typical. Right, so we're having a look at all the pots, and there's just so many to choose from. So which one do you think, Tone? The green one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice colour green, like an olive. Yeah, get that one then. That'll be all right. some lovely Hebes, and I've been watching all of the bees on these. Bees on the Hebes. Lovely. £35 each these are. Lovely but very expensive. Now I quite like this grass here. And just look at that. I think I'll get one of them and pop it in the trolley. Another miscanthus. Looks very inviting there. And that's a barbecue. Fit for a king. You need to be a king to afford that as well. £1,500. Wow. They've got some lovely insettis. £14.99. And also mousses. That one's not looking in good health. £14.99 as well. Yeah, I've never had much luck overwintering these. Insetti morellii, £14.99. And this plant here is the same size as ours. And that's £100. We bought ours as a very small plant. And it's grown to this size in a few years. And we certainly didn't pay £100 for it. Found anything else, Tony? Should we go up the range and see if they've got any more water features? Come on then. I know. A busy day. Oh, I could see you and me sitting in them. Nice though. No, I know, they are pricey, aren't they? 1,004. So we have managed to pick up a few things here at Dobbies, but not everything. So we're going to nip now up to the range, which is probably about a mile away, and just have a look and see what they've got there. I do fancy a new water feature, but unfortunately they didn't have the one that I wanted in stock. So let's go up the range and take a look. Come on, Tom, we're going up the range. Let's go. So let's try again. So we've come now into the range, and although they've got a few different water features, but nothing really that I fancy for the garden. Well, there's not really an awful lot here at all. And what is here is looking quite poor. Just look at them there. Bamboos, dry as an old bone. And more poor looking plants here. Look at these poor hydrangeas. Burnt to a crisp. I gotta be honest, this is probably one of the worst garden centres that I've visited in a long time. There's the odd plant that's doing okay. But just look at that. So we returned home now from our afternoon out at the garden centre. So let's take a look and see what we came back with. So you can see here which one of the aces that I chose to come back with. And this is an Acer dissectum. So it's a green umbrella Acer. And this will grow to a height of about 125 centimetres and a width of about 150 centimetres, making it ideal to grow in a pot. And you will notice that just on the ends of the branches it has got a little bit of leaf scorch, but these can be easily trimmed away when I repot it, so I'm not too worried about that. And I also bought a new pot to place it into, and that was the olive green pot for $14.99 that Tony chose. And just behind there, the miscanthus that I bought. This is a plant that I haven't got in the garden, not this particular variety. And just so that you can have a better look at the label, here it is. So I do love miscanthus grasses in the garden. I have got a few different ones, but as I said, this is something that I haven't tried. Lovely red and green colouring on this. I also picked up, we went shopping in Lidl's on the way home, and I also picked up this orchid. Now this won't be staying in the greenhouse. I've just given it a little bit of a water with some tepid water. I haven't had an orchid before, but my mother is a little bit of the orchid queen. She does keep hers alive, but the flowers on this now are starting to fade. So I've woken up this morning to another sunny day, but we did have a little bit of rain overnight, and that was absolutely fantastic. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention was this plant here. Now, I bought this last week and I've had plenty of messages just to let me know how invasive this plant is. So it's been taken out of the ground and placed in a lovely little terracotta pot. So hopefully now that'll be contained. And while I was potting it up, I also managed, look at this here, to get two little cuttings from it. So these have been planted and watered in, and hopefully now these will come so I can give these away. So you will notice here that I have repotted up now the new Acer, and I was out doing that last night in the dark. So I think that's when you know you really have got a plant problem. So I've trimmed up all of the old leaves. Not all of them, but some of them, just to make it look a little bit tidier. And I'm going to place this tree now in a little bit of dappled sunshine so it's not so strong, and also to protect it from any winds. So I'll probably place this now underneath the arbour. The other one's doing quite well under there, but beautiful leaf shape on that, very delicate. And I do love an Acer. So during the week I did trim back my other Acer slightly, and I do like a little bit of an open shape. I don't like them to be too overcrowded. And this one here in a terracotta pot is an Acer Sirio, and this does really well just underneath the arbour, as it has got the overhead protection of a little bit of bamboo, so that just tends to filter the sunshine a little bit. But beautiful leaves on this Acer, really pretty. And one of the other Acers that I've got here with its beautiful orange stems in the autumn months is the Acer Baihu. Slightly larger leaf on this, but still pretty. So that's 3 Acers now that I've got in the garden. starting to become a little bit of a new addiction, I think. Once you start, you just can't stop buying them. And remember the lovely cosmos that I bought a few weeks ago? Well, just look at the lovely colour now on those. They've come out with a new flush of flowers there. So walking now down the garden path, and I have been busy this morning. First thing, planting up my new miscanthus. So I am a little bit short of space now in the garden, but you'll notice that I've just planted it just here on the edge of the bed. So what's going on here? There's a hedgehog out in the daytime. I don't really know what to do with it. It shouldn't be out in this sunny weather. So until next time, I'll see you all soon. And if you haven't already, please like, comment and subscribe, as that really would help the channel to grow. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.